What if the future does not arrive with a loud explosion, but with quiet convenience? What if it slips into your life through your phone screen, your job dashboard, your child's classroom, and your own reflection in the mirror? And what if, by the time you notice it, it already knows you better than you know yourself? This is the question that hangs in the air when you step into the world of AI 2041. Not as a prediction, not as science fiction, but as a warning wrapped inside human stories. Qiufan and Chen do not ask you to fear machines. They ask you to understand them. And more importantly, to understand yourself before the machines do. The year is 2041. Not a distant galaxy. Not a fantasy century. Just a decades away. Close enough that today's students will be leading companies. Close enough that today's children will be shaped by it. Close enough that the choices you make right now will echo into that world. The book opens a door and invites you to walk through 10 different lives. Different countries. Different struggles. Different dreams. But one shared force runs through them all. Artificial intelligence. Invisible. Relentless. Powerful. In one corner of the world, a young woman grows up in India, brilliant and determined. She lives in a society where opportunity feels uneven and fragile. AI becomes her ladder. It opens doors that her background tried to close. Algorithms judge her work without bias, or so it seems. Her talent finally finds a voice. Yet even here, something feels uneasy. When decisions come from code, who truly holds power? The system that claims fairness also watches everything. Every click, every hesitation, every failure. Progress arrives, but privacy quietly leaves. In another story, a man in Nigeria struggles to survive in a gig economy ruled by platforms. AI assigns him work, rates his performance, and decides his income. There is no boss to argue with, no office to complain to, just an app. When the algorithm favors him, life feels hopeful. When it does not, he falls through the cracks. Not because he is lazy, not because he lacks skill, but because a machine decided he was no longer efficient enough. The cruelty here is not loud. It is silent and automatic. This is how AI changes the nature of power. Not through violence, but through optimization. Not through orders, but through scores. The stories move across continents: China, the United States, the Middle East. Each one shows a different face of the same force. Surveillance systems that promise safety while eroding freedom. Personalized education that adapts to every child while reducing learning to data points. Healthcare breakthroughs that save lives while turning patients into streams of information. One story follows a doctor who relies on AI to diagnose disease faster than any human could. The system sees patterns hidden deep inside medical images. It catches illnesses early. It saves thousands. But one day, it makes a mistake. And when it does, no one knows who to blame. The doctor trusted the machine. The hospital trusted the data. The company trusted the model. Responsibility dissolves. Progress moves forward. Accountability disappears. This is one of the book's sharpest questions. When machines make decisions, where does human responsibility go? Qiufan does not write as a distant observer. He has lived inside this world. He built companies. He trained systems. He watched AI evolve from a research curiosity into an economic weapon. Qiufan brings the human cost, the emotional weight, the quiet moments where technology meets fear, hope, and loss. Together, they show that AI is not one thing. It is many things: a tool, a mirror, a multiplier. Whatever society already values, AI amplifies. Whatever inequality exists, AI accelerates. Whatever biases hide inside data, AI learns them perfectly. One of the most haunting stories centers on love. In a future where AI companions feel emotionally real, a man forms a bond with a digital being. She listens. She understands. She adapts to his moods. She never gets tired, never judges, never leaves. Compared to messy human relationships, this feels safe, controlled, predictable. But something essential is missing: growth, conflict, risk. Love without friction becomes comfort, not connection. And when humans choose comfort over growth, something inside us weakens. Another story explores warfare. Not soldiers facing each other on battlefields, but algorithms clashing at machine speed. Cyber attacks that cripple cities. Autonomous weapons that decide targets in milliseconds. No anger, no mercy. Just logic chasing efficiency. In this world, the danger is not that machines hate us. The danger is that they do not care at all. As the stories unfold, a pattern becomes clear. AI does not replace humanity overnight. It slowly reshapes it, job by job, choice by choice, habit by habit. Some people thrive. They learn to work with AI. They become more creative, more strategic, more impactful. Others struggle. Routine work disappears. Middle-skilled jobs vanish. The gap widens. Those who control data and models gain immense power. Those who do not become dependent. The book refuses to offer easy optimism. It also refuses despair. Instead, it pushes you toward a harder truth. The future of AI depends less on technology and more on values. By 2041, the authors argue most technical breakthroughs will already exist. The real battle will be social, political, ethical. Who owns the data that defines your life? Who sets the rules the algorithms follow? Who benefits from efficiency? Who pays the price? 1. Story imagines a city where social scoring decides everything. Your access to housing, travel, education. It rewards compliance and punishes deviation. The system claims it creates order and trust. Crime drops. Services improve. But fear grows quietly. People learn to perform instead of think, to obey instead of question. Freedom fades, not through force, but through incentives. In another place, activists fight back. They use AI to expose corruption, to organize movements, to give voice to the invisible. Technology becomes a shield instead of a cage. The same tools that enable surveillance also enable resistance. The outcome depends on who holds them and why. This is the central tension of AI 2041. The technology is neutral in theory, but never neutral in practice. As the narrative reaches its emotional peak, the message sharpens. The greatest risk is not that AI becomes smarter than humans. The risk is that humans stop thinking deeply about what they want to become. When decisions get outsourced to machines, thinking becomes optional. When comfort becomes automated, effort feels unnecessary. When prediction replaces judgment, wisdom fades. Yet the book also shows a path forward. Education that focuses on creativity, empathy, and critical thinking. Work that pairs human insight with machine precision. Governance that demands transparency, accountability, and shared benefit. The authors stress that AI should not aim to replace humans, but to elevate them, to free people from repetitive tasks so they can focus on meaning, to extend human capability, not erase it. But this outcome is not guaranteed. It requires intention. It requires citizens who care, leaders who understand technology, systems designed with ethics at their core. In the final reflection, the future no longer feels abstract. It feels personal, because 2041 is not waiting for permission. It is being built right now, in code, in policy, in classrooms, in daily habits. Every time you trade convenience for awareness, you vote for one version of the future. Every time you demand transparency, you vote for another. Every time you choose to learn instead of ignore, you reclaim a piece of agency. I-2041 does not ask you to fear machines. It asks you to respect the power you are handing them, and to remember that intelligence without wisdom is dangerous, whether it lives in silicon or in the human mind. The future will not be decided by AI alone. It will be decided by the values of the people who build it, deploy it, and live under it. So the real question is not what artificial intelligence will become. The real question is what kind of humans you choose to be before 2041 arrives. If this journey made you pause, reflect, or feel uneasy, do not let that feeling fade. Use it. Read deeper, question louder, learn faster. Because the future is already listening, learning, and adapting. And it is waiting to see if you will do the same.